This is the quickest and easiest way to sew a pillowcase with just 1 yard of fabric. It even has a fold-over flap. No Mexican food required. You'll need 1 yard of fabric and then your basic sewing supplies. Something to cut the fabric with, like a rotary cutter or scissors, some coordinating thread, an iron, and of course a sewing machine. So here I have my fabric on the fold. I'm just going to measure and trim so that the piece is 20 5/8 of an inch wide. We'll unfold the fabric, and along that shorter side we'll just fold a 3/8 of an inch hem and press that into place. Now I like to do a double fold hem to make sure that there's no loose threads exposed, even though this will be tucked under the cuff. But I'll just fold that over again. Next we'll press the cuff. So I want the pillowcase to be 30 inches when it's finished. So I will mark out 30 5/8 of an inch to allow for that seam allowance. And I'll just mark that there. And so I will end up folding in just over, well, just about 3 1/4 inches. So I'll fold that over and press that. So there we have my double fold hem and my cuff pressed, but we're not going to sew them just yet. What we'll do is we will unfold that, and then we will fold the fabric right sides together. And with that folded out, we'll sew down this end, turn the corner, and down this side. So I'm sewing with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And starting with the back stitch. When I get to the corner, with the needle down, lift up the presser foot and sew along the next side. And sew a back stitch when I get to the end. Next, I will finish those seam allowances so that I don't have all of these stray threads. This is optional. It's going to be tucked inside the pillowcase. So I'm going to use a serger. You could use a zigzag stitch on your regular sewing machine. So there I've serged those seams. Next, we'll fold over the hem memory crease that we put in before. So this is just that little double fold. And you might want to use a couple of pins for this. And we'll stitch that in place about 1/8 of an inch from that bottom edge. We'll start with the back stitch. We'll just sew another back stitch once we got back to the beginning. So there we've neatly hemmed the cuff. Now we'll fold down the cuff along that line that we previously pressed. And we'll just sew it in place along that seam line and then along the fold line. And so that will keep the cuff in position. So I'll just pin that in place. And I'll sew in the ditch, so right along that seam line, and the stitches will just about disappear. And I'll do that from the right side as well on this side, but along that fold line. So there we have our cuff sewn into position. Now we turn it right sides out. Push out those corners. Give it a good press and then pop in your pillow.